Today's topic: Julius Caesar the Betrayed, who became immortal. 2,000 years ago, a man dared to believe he could rewrite destiny itself. He was not born a king, yet he dreamed like one. He was not crowned by blood, but by vision. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar, a soldier, scholar, and statesman whose life would dismantle a republic, rebuild an empire, and echo through every corridor of power since. Rome in the 1st century, before Common Era, was a republic cracking under its own ambition. Civil wars, corrupt senators, and starving citizens filled the streets. Born in 100 before Common Era, to a minor patrician family, Caesar grew up in a city ruled by old names and older fears. When the dictator Sulla seized control, he ordered Caesar to divorce his wife Cornelia. Caesar refused and fled Rome. That defiance nearly cost him his life, but it defined him forever. Obedience is temporary, legacy is eternal. In exile, he joined the legions of Asia Minor. When pirates captured him, he promised he would return to crucify them, and he did exactly that after his ransom was paid. He studied rhetoric in Rhodes, mastering language like a weapon. By 60 before Common Era, he had risen through every rank of Roman politics: quaestor, aedile, praetor. He allied with Pompey the Great and Crassus, forming the first triumvirate, an unofficial triangle of power that turned the Senate into theatre. Caesar won the consulship in 59 before Common Era, and within a year secured the command that would make him immortal, the conquest of Gaul. From 58 to 50 before Common Era, Caesar conquered what is now France, Belgium, and parts of Germany, defeating over 400 tribes and taking more than 80 cities. His commentaries on the Gallic War became both propaganda and literature, ensuring the world knew who forged Rome's new frontier. He built bridges over the Rhine, invaded Britain twice, and returned with gold, glory, and loyalty that belonged not to the Senate but to him. When the Senate demanded he disband his army, Caesar faced a choice: obey or define history. On the 10th day of January, 49 before Common Era, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with a single legion and spoke the words that shattered the Republic. Alia iacta est, the die is cast. To the Senate, this was treason. To Caesar, it was destiny. Pompey fled Rome. Caesar entered without resistance. He chased Pompey across Greece, crushed him at Pharsalus in 48 before Common Era, and when Pompey sought refuge in Egypt, he was murdered by Ptolemaic advisors. It was a betrayal meant to please Caesar. Instead, Caesar wept. He had wanted victory, not the death of his rival. In Egypt, he met Cleopatra VII, queen, strategist, and ally. Together they restored her throne and conceived a son, Caesarion. Back in Rome, Caesar became dictator for life in 44 before Common Era, rebuilding the state, forgiving former enemies, and launching reforms that stabilized the economy and the calendar. Yet the same Senate that once begged him to save Rome now feared he might crown himself king. The whispers grew into blades. His friend Brutus, his ally Cassius, and over 60 senators plotted. On the 15th day of March, 44 before Common Era, Caesar entered the theatre of Pompey. He was surrounded and stabbed 23 times. He fell beneath the statue of Pompey, the man whose ghost had haunted his triumph. As the blood pooled, one era ended, but the men who thought they had saved the Republic had only lit the fuse of its destruction. Caesar's death unleashed chaos. His adopted heir Gaius Octavius, only 18 years old, stepped into the storm. With Mark Antony and Lepidus, he formed a second triumvirate, hunted the assassins, and won at Philippi in 42 before Common Era. Within a decade, Octavian defeated Antony, and Cleopatra attacked him in 31 before Common Era, becoming Augustus, Rome's first emperor. The Republic that murdered Caesar crowned his bloodline instead. Even the calendar we use today, with July named for him, still carries his mark. His reforms in law, urban planning, and citizenship outlived every conspirator. History calls it betrayal, but in truth, It was ascension. Caesar's body fell, yet his idea of a unified, disciplined Rome became the empire that ruled for 5 centuries. He proved that mortality cannot kill meaning. Every leader who dreams of transformation walks his shadowed path, vision, betrayal, rebirth. He lost his life, but gained eternity, because the Republic ended with a knife, and the Empire began with his name.